Hi guys, I'm back and I'm doing a general twin flame collective reading here. So we're going to look at the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine here and kind of go over their head space, heart space, and their general actions that we should be probably seeing here in the weekend. I was hoping I could get this video out yesterday, but I just kind of had stuff come up, and that is just how life works sometimes, right? So, I wanted to say a huge thank you. I went from 10 subscribers yesterday to 25 currently, and that is just so cool. I'm so thankful for all the comments, the likes, everything, guys. I totally appreciate that. I think I'm going to try and get out a way for me to be able to start doing private readings for anyone that is interested. I'll try and get that listed in the link below on the upcoming videos here. It won't be out for today or anything like that, but in the upcoming videos, I'll announce it when it happens. But I think that is ultimately a direction I will go here for people, because it seems like people are resonating with the readings. And right now, I just do private readings out of my house and travel for people locally. So this would be a big step for me to get on the internet and be able to do messages for people across the world. So very cool stuff. Without further ado, I'm just going to get right into this. I have played, I have shuffled, I'm just doing a little bit more here just so you guys can see it on camera. So I'm going to do 7 cards here. It's going to be headspace for the Divine Masculine, heart space, and likely actions, then overall outcome for both of them. Headspace, heart space, overall actions for the Divine Feminine. Alright, let's just see what comes up. Alright, Spirit, if I can just get 3 more cards for the Divine Feminine here. All these came up. Right, that's pretty cool. Okay, Divine Masculine. So for the headspace for the Divine Masculine, we have the Death card showing up. For the heart space of the Divine Masculine, we have the Tower showing up. For the likely outcome or action for the Divine Masculine, we have the Eight of Cups. For the overall general reading, between the two of them is the Page of Swords. The overall headspace of the Divine Feminine is the King of Wands. No surprise there, I guess. Who isn't thinking about their counterpart? The heart space is the Magician, and the likely action is Justice here. Alright, so let's just go into this and see what kind of clarifiers we get. So, right away, under the Death card, we have the Two of Pentacles. So, the Death card is all about things transitioning, changing, could be new beginnings. But with what came up here, it's also a card of very much endings, the death of something. And what we have here is the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is all about somebody juggling something. So this is probably in relation to the Divine Masculine juggling between a karmic partner or a karmic situation and the Divine Feminine. I'm really leaning towards the them juggling this karmic partner and the Divine Feminine in their head. That the end of that is coming here, it looks like, because they have come to the realization that they've left something or someone out in the cold that is actually pretty important to them. Most likely the Divine Feminine. They might have this really reads to me a lot like them coming to the realization that they may have made the wrong choice, and they're in a lot of regrets with it. It's that kind of an energy that I'm picking up here from it. So with that comes the Strength card. And the Strength card is all about taking control, the courage and the strength here to change the situation or go through this ending process, ending what no longer serves them, so they can move on to their best and highest self. Obviously, that's the end goal for everybody here. Is it's not even union, but it is to become your highest self. Obviously, in being our highest self, that really does mean union for twin flames, because you guys feed off of each other into the fire, so to speak, and that really pushes both of you to, you know, grow and heal and become a better person than where you were before. If you look at where you started in your journey and where you're at now, and all the changes, despite all the heartache and everything that's come with it, all the changes that you've made have all been for the better of becoming this highest self. So that kind of just goes in relation to them realizing this here. I did want to point out that we do have 2 infinity signs here, which is just something for the twin flames, obviously, and that's represented in the Strength card here, and the 2 of Pentacles. Both of them, to me, you know, with them showing up, this isn't a bad sign for the twin flames, so take that for whatever it's worth to you. I think that, to me, that really comes across as them realizing, hey, I've made the wrong choice. I'm going down the wrong path. This path isn't going to take me to my highest self, and my twin flame connection is really going to be what opens me up into this spiritual connection and emotional fulfillment and my spiritual path. That kind of a realization. All right. So next, the heart space. The heart space is with the Tower. The Tower is abrupt, sudden changes. It's a really disruptive energy. I'm always grateful when I get the Tower in my spread, but like kinda, you know, because I know that it's gonna be like a real pain in the ass to deal with typically, and it's never anything that I'm like anticipating. So with that being said, you know, it's one of those things that you know, I'm grateful for what comes after the Tower, but during the Tower, it's kind of chaotic, to say the least. So be patient with them right now. If they're probably going through some shit. That's some real talk here for you. Having chaos in your heart space, to me, is just, you know, it's uneasy, it's unsettling. All right, so the King of Wands shows up here, which the King of Wands, to me, in this reading, really represents the Divine Masculine understanding that they are a twin flame. This is that passion, that drive, that desire, that creativity, that real spark of emotion, that fiery energy. And this tells me that they're coming into the understanding that they are in a twin flame connection, that they've realized this, that they know what they want, they know where they need to be, and it's followed up here with the Three of Cups. So because we were already talking about a karmic partner, three-way situation over here, the Three of Cups really represents, to me, some sort of realization or understanding, an abrupt change. You know, with this death over here of the three-way situation and them taking control, this could be a very sudden change that just occurs. Like, you know, they could be literally sitting there thinking about, like, okay, how do I end my situation? I need to end this, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, it's one big explosive fight that comes from it. That's the kind of energy that the Tower has. You know, obviously, depending on all situations, it could be very dramatic to less dramatic, but this could be one of those horrific, you know, we got drunk and fought and yelled and people are blocked on Facebook and no more talking. the police get called even situations. The tower is that kind of disruptive energy. Obviously, that's like on the extreme example here, but that kind of energy is what this is. So I'm not saying that that's going to be the exact situation that unfolds for them, but just be aware that they are probably going to be dealing with some real shit here to go through this transition. This is going to be that trial by fire to push through it, okay? And ultimately, this is either going to be very disruptive in their home life and what they thought they wanted, or it's going to lead to this change of what they actually want in their home life. So if maybe they were living with their karmic partner or something like that, this could be them, either getting kicked out of that house or kicking the karmic out of the house. This could just be a total end to whatever vision that they had with this karmic partner here. And in this, the likely action is going to be the Eight of Cups, which is typically representative of somebody leaving something that's unfulfilling. With this deck right here, it's kind of more of like the completion of that, and then trying to find the balance after leaving an unfulfilling situation, where the emotions weren't being fulfilled, and now they're trying to bring in that balance here. They're trying to, reestablish themselves and how they're feeling. So, sorry guys, got a bit of a cough going on. So with all the crisis and chaos and conflict that's occurred through all this, obviously, over here, and the balancing of their emotions, they come to this new point of view, this new way of looking at the situation altogether, and kind of going like, okay, like this all just happened, this unfolded in my life, this was crazy, this wasn't something, that I necessarily even wanted to happen, but it did happen, and it happened for the right reasons, obviously, because they took control of the situation over here with the Strength card. So this, to me, it kind of comes across as maybe like them trying to start the conversation of saying, this is something that I didn't want, and then all of a sudden it just blows up in their face. And something small just leads into this huge situation of crazy chaotic energies, okay? And the balancing of the emotions comes in here with the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups, to me, represents, obviously, the Divine Feminine, and them realizing that this is truly what they want, and this is what's going to balance out their entire emotional cycle here. They're wanting to get back to what was emotionally fulfilling, and they found that in their twin flame connection here. So they're having this new point of view where all this crazy drama and unfulfilling situations and stuff like that, they realize that the Queen of Cups, or the Divine Feminine, is going to be the one that comes in and really brings that balance, that nurturing side that they've been so desperately seeking. And with that comes in the Page of Cups here. So the Page of Cups, to me, typically would be a representation of the karmic partner, but not with what I'm seeing here. And the reason being is that obviously, if things are ending with the karmic over here in this three-way situation, this is going to be more of a messenger card. This is going to be them stepping into their role as the Divine Masculine and pushing forward with an honest, genuine message of emotions and communication. Now, when I say honest, I mean, I don't mean that they're going to come in just, oh, I love you, baby, everything's just fine. No, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be more like, hey, this is what's been going on, and I haven't told you all of my feelings, and I know that I haven't been, 100% honest in this, XYZ situation or whatever, but, this is going to be them kind of probably spilling their heart out and saying, I messed up really bad, really, really bad, and, this is what I want, and this is what I'm hoping for, and this is, how I truly feel, and so on, so on. So this is like a much needed communication, obviously, for a lot of people. A lot of people, it's great to know the fifth dimensionally what's going on, but you really want that three-dimensional like clarity too. Um, all right, so I'm gonna skip over this center card here and go straight into the King of Wands. So we do have a presence already of the King of Wands showing up under the tower here. So this is going to obviously be talking about the Divine Masculine and kind of what's going on in the head of the Divine Feminine. So it looks like the Divine Feminine is saying the Six of Swords here. With the Five of Wands and the Two of Wands. So what this is telling me right now, hey guys, just looked at my clock, it's 11:11, what up? So this right here is telling me that the Divine Feminine is aware that the Divine Masculine is making moves. That Divine Masculine is leaving a situation that is not fulfilling. It's turbulent, it's stressful, it's kind of crazy and chaotic, and they're making that necessary risk to make the movement forward because they want the calmer side of everything over here. And this is just basically the Divine Feminine coming into that understanding, going like, okay, I need to be patient. And if there's one thing I've learned on this entire journey, it's patience, 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 right? And it's just going to keep being repeated forever, apparently. As much as everybody's probably tired of hearing be patient, it is what it is, guys. So, I mean, I'm ready, obviously, for the connection. I think everybody else is ready for the connection. But, a little bit of patience right now, obviously, is going to go a long ways. This is them realizing that there's a lot of conflict and competition going on here for the Divine Masculine. This is that realization that the Divine Masculine may have dug themselves into a pretty decent hole in regards to all of his situations, really. And they might be facing outside conflict. They might be sitting there and have told their friends, well, my Divine Feminine's a little bit crazy and blah blah blah, and now them having to kind of eat their words and going like, yeah, I probably should have just watched what I said instead of going around and telling everybody, all my family members that we're fighting again or whatever, whatever the case is, and whatever resonates with your situation. This could just be friends, or this could even be like coworkers that maybe they've kind of shared the story with. This could just be people in general that aren't even, like, they might not have even said anything about you, but it could just be like coworkers or family that are like trying to influence their situation and saying, well, you should just stay with this other person because they're either really financially secure or stable or, this, that, or the other. This is other people, like outside influences, trying to influence a situation and that maybe the Divine Masculine does not want to play out, if that makes sense. And then the Two of Wands showing up here is realizing that the Divine Masculine is making the plans. They are making the plans right now to move forward. They're carefully picking each step in this process to make this move here. They have the world in their hands right now, and they're kind of plotting out, okay, well, what happens when I go from A to B, and then where do I go from B to C? What does this look like? Do I have to get property back to this person? Do I, what does this mean if they're helping pay my bills, or things of that nature. This is them planning that out. Alright, so the Divine Feminine steps in here into her heart space of the Magician. The Magician is somebody that has learned how to manifest and manipulate situations into the best ability of theirs. And I don't mean manipulate in like a negative way, I just mean they've learned how to influence things to occur in a beneficial manner for them, or they've learned how to basically interject their energy into situations to cause better outcomes for themselves. So it looks like under this here we have this betrayal. So to me, that comes across as maybe the Divine Feminine, maybe even manifesting, guys. I'd be lying if I didn't say that I hadn't spent time thinking about, you know, um, my Divine Masculine breaking up with their karmic partner. And obviously thoughts breed reality. So probably a lot of people have been, thinking about that, as well as obviously the Divine Masculine. So this manifests this betrayal here, or the end of a betrayal. This really could either be the Divine Feminine manifesting, and hoping that the end of this situation occurs over here, or that the end of the betrayal for themselves occurs, that the Divine Masculine no longer is going to be in this runner chaser. I show up and throw you into a whirlwind of emotions and excitement, and then I'm back out, the next second. That kind of betrayal. With this, they have manifested a new beginning. This new beginning, this new start here. They're bringing this in, which to me, with the Ten of Swords, means that they have closed out this feeling of betrayal. And it's allowing them to move forward into something that's real and practical, and they understand that their next steps are coming in, and everything is just going to be kind of a fresh start. That doesn't mean that you don't have to deal with the stuff from the past, but it does mean that ultimately, after you talk about it, you do need to leave the past in the past so you can move forward. Because if you just stay in that past stuck energy here, you're not going to make the positive changes that you need to see to really get this new beginning here. With that comes in the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is a card of competition and kind of struggle and fighting with it. So to me, this says that while you do manifest this new beginning, you realize that there's going to be that struggle that I was literally just talking about. And that you're going to work through it here. The Seven of Wands isn't somebody that's giving up. The Seven of Wands is somebody that's standing up against all odds. And you just see all these different sticks coming in here, right? And they're sitting there, think of them like each is a different person trying to fight this person. And they're not backing down. They're not backing down at all. They're taking on each fight as it comes, and they're pushing forward with it. So, the overall likely outcome or action for the Divine Feminine here is the Justice card. Justice is all about bringing balance. This can be legal situations, but we'll see more what kind of comes of it. Obviously, take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Don't make it fit. Don't jam this into your situation. If this one card doesn't work, that doesn't mean the rest of the reading doesn't apply. It just means that maybe this isn't for your particular case, okay? Cool. So I'm not really picking up any sort of legal vibe off this whatsoever. What I get here is the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords to me is a lot about meditation, contemplation, idolization, even manifestation, really, especially with the fact that we have the Magician here. And this is kind of interesting because you have the Four of Swords and you have the Ten of Swords. And obviously the Ten of Swords typically creates the Three of Swords energy here. I'm sure everybody's probably familiar with it, but if you're not, I would love to show a depiction of the Three of Swords here. I'm just going to look for it really quick in this deck, and alright. So this is the Three of Swords. This is heartbreak, okay? So the Four of Swords still depicts the same three swords above, but one sword below. This and all the swords have been pulled out of the heart. So this to me is someone that has healed the Three of Swords. They've come to the completion of that Ten of Swords betrayal energy, and have pulled the swords out of the heart, and they're healing that wound. And then you have one sword underneath, and that typically to me represents like the Ace of Swords energy, which is a logical breakthrough in the situation. For Divine Feminines, typically I believe the logical breakthrough is starting to look at the entire relationship on a fifth dimensional platform instead of just a three-dimensional platform, and acknowledging that the actions that have occurred had to happen because, you know, soul contracts and binding, things like that. And even as much as maybe things didn't get handled correctly, it's the understanding of basically like, well, this is still divinely meant to be, and everything has happened for a reason, and everything that has happened has caused me to grow into the person I am today, and for that I'm thankful kind of perspective, okay? And with this comes in the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. So, obviously this is great. This is super great because the Ace of Cups is all about emotional new beginning, and the Ace of Pentacles is all about like a very grounded offer coming through. So, when I see these in conjunction like this, the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups, oh, crazy, I even have them pointing towards each other. Totally unintentional. But this to me is kind of where three-dimensional meets emotional connection, okay? So this could be like the start of somebody dating or that next real step in a relationship. This could be them coming over here and saying, hey, I messed up. This is really what I truly want. I know I haven't been acting like it, but really you're the person for me, and you're my person. I know you're my person, and this is what I want. So, with that being said, what am I doing? Let's go into this middle energy, and this is the likely outcome for everybody here. The Page of Swords, to me, typically represents the karmic partner of the Divine Masculine, but it can just be an energy. We'll see what shows up here. Oh, sorry guys, I got two cards on the ground too. Yeah, so this is going to definitely be about the karmic partner here and the realization on both sides. So the realization here that comes through is something like basically like this new logical idea. It's probably going to be a pretty cutting energy, just kind of from what we're seeing over here, but it's some sort of clarity in the mindset that comes through. And with that clarity and like enlightenment or this new idea or new understanding, it brings balance to everyone's overall situation here. What energy and time has not been being spent necessarily beneficially or correctly comes to a balance. So if they just haven't really been giving you the time, the energy, the effort, or maybe you haven't because of the situation, this gets cleared up and it brings in the balance here. This is good. This is really good for everybody, and because that balance of the time and the energy and the effort and maybe even the finances, just depending on everybody's situation, right? Everybody's situation is going to be different because this is a general reading, but this balance here brings in the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups, obviously, that emotional fulfillment, happy times, rainbows, good stuff, right? Everybody wants that 10 of cups, that complete emotional fulfillment and happiness. This is like union energy. You know, you got a happy couple with 2 kids over here dancing and playing, and they're just really sitting back, taking in life, and enjoying it all for what it is. The overall above energy for the top cards is the Ten of Wands, which is the completion of burden, the end of like a maybe a long trying path or whatever, for both people here. So them closing this situation out, you're probably going to stop worrying so much as you start to see this unfold, and you're like, oh shit, this is really happening. I better make sure I have all my ducks in alignment, kind of thing. You know, like if there's any last minute spring cleaning kind of stuff that you know you need to get taken care of, now's the time, guys. Now's the time to start doing that. You know, maybe a couple extra squats, watch the diet for the next like couple of weeks. You know, just be in that top prime area, okay? Because the bottom half is all about them coming into the realization of the beauty, the natural beauty of everything occurring, or the Empress energy. This could be for the Divine Masculine, really seeing you, and this could be for you, really seeing yourself and all your potential and beauty, and really stepping into that power. So, great reading, guys. I mean, honestly, we're sailing. Don't change up the timelines. Don't do dramatic stuff. Leave everything alone. Let this play out, because when this message comes in, you're gonna already be way ahead of the game and be like, I know what's going on. I don't need to worry about it. I know this is coming. So don't try and rush things. Don't try and force things. Just let the universe unfold things naturally, so you can get on board with this energy. I know it's difficult to wait, especially when you want to live in the future already and you're stuck in the now, but it's coming, and coming soon. So let it just unfold, okay? This obviously started off as a weekend reading, but and it still very much could be a weekend reading. Remember that this is energy, though, so it's not locked into some time frame. It very much is, you know, could be days after the weekend. It could be the next week after the weekend. It all depends on your personal timeline and what you have unfolding. So just keep that in mind. If you don't see it by Sunday and you're like, oh, well, I guess this just isn't happening, wrong mindset. Wrong mindset totally, because that is the kind of energy that will change up what you're manifesting over here. Leave everything alone. Keep manifesting what you're manifesting. Keep thinking about what you're thinking about, because we are totally on the right track for everything to play out exactly how it's intended to. This is the kind of stuff that brings in union. This is absolutely what you want to be seeing here. So without further ado, like, share, comment, subscribe. I love hearing from you guys, probably the most. So comment for sure. And much love to everyone. I know it's been a long journey for a lot of people, and I am already at 30 minutes, so I'm going to end this. Thank you.